Quick disclaimer before I start, this is a partially opinionated video and codes may vary depending on where you live. Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Community Talk Show. Today's topic will be fire alarm fails. Let's get started. So several years back, Wheel of Fire Alarms created this series called Fire Alarm Fails. Basically, the gist of it is people would submit photos of fire alarm fails through the hashtag #WhatAFireAlarmFail on Instagram, and then he'd use the fails or he'd feature the fails in one of his videos. So this got tons of attention. It basically blew up and made his channel what it is today, and that's really cool. I do like seeing unique content like that because, it's better than the stereotypical pull the fire alarm, it goes beep beep, stuff like that. So there have been several issues with this, and none of which have something to do with Wheel of Fire Alarms, just the general toxicity of the community. So I'm going to go over that now. So in the fire alarm fails hashtag, there are three types of fails. They're the type of fails that aren't even fails at all, so they don't affect operation. Type B are actual fails that are genuinely problematic. And then Type C, it's just fire alarm fails that are technically fails, but nobody cares because it's negligible. Nobody really cares. It doesn't affect operation that much, and people have seen it like 62 quintillion times, so it's unnecessary to tag. So it's kind of problematic. I cannot speak today. But the problem is people will post something, and then like 86 people in the comment section will go after whatever the fail was and say, "Oh my god, that is not a fail. This is not a code violation because NFPA 69.333 says blah blah blah." And that's just absolutely obnoxious. If you're one of those people who does that, I just recommend stopping it because, you could be right, but at the same time, it just makes people not like you. So then there's the dilemma of what actually constitutes a fire alarm fail. A lot of people just think that a fire alarm fail just is a code violation and that's all, but that's actually just not true because fire alarm fail, it says fire alarm fail, not fire alarm code violation. And technically, all code violations are fails, but all fails are not code violations, if that makes any sense. A fail is just defined, or the word fail is defined as to be unsuccessful in achieving one's goal. So that's kind of subjective because you could say that, well, they failed at installing a proper or a good-looking fire alarm, but that's not a fail. So basically, what I have to say is that a fail, instead of defining it as any of those, just say a fail has to be something that affects a life safety device's operation. And that could be maybe installing something upside down, installing something that should not be on the ceiling. Those are all fails because they would actually directly affect the device's operation. What is not considered a fail is things like a fire alarm being crooked on the wall. That does not affect operation at all whatsoever. That's not a fail. Installing a Spectre Alert Advance wall mount on the ceiling. That does not affect operation. Something like just a couple specks of paint on a device, that's also not a fail. However, even if you see these in the hashtag, there's really not a need to just go into the comment section and then start harassing this person for posting a fail like, "Oh my god, are you stupid? This is not a fire alarm fail. This does not affect operation. Blah blah blah." Technically, you're not wrong, but also at the same time, you are wrong because of the way you're executing that. It's just not right to do that. It doesn't matter your opinion on what is a fail and what's not a fail. It just doesn't matter. What are you going to gain from doing that? All you're going to do is piss somebody else off and make them not like you, and possibly piss everybody else who sees your comment off who disagrees with you. And I'm not denying you free speech. You do have the right to do whatever you want in the comment section so long as it's appropriate, but it's just stupid. It's annoying. It's irritating. Shut your mouth. Nobody cares. And then there's the category of fire alarm fails that technically aren't fails. So these are fire alarm fails that, by the book, if you were to go by it, does it affect operation or not? These do affect operation, but they're so common and everybody has seen these before that it just doesn't matter anymore. One of the most common ones of these is exit signs hanging by the wires off the ceiling. That is technically a fail, but everybody has seen that so many times that nobody actually cares anymore. Another one is emergency lights not adjusted properly. That is technically a fail, but it's technically not a fail at the same time. Or emergency lights that don't work when you test them. That is a fail, but that's also not a fail because nobody actually cares anymore. Nobody wants to see it. So, yeah. Also, that begs the question of, do emergency lighting and exit signs and other topics that aren't technically fire alarms, do those count as fire alarm fails? Because if I were to post an emergency lighting fail right now on the hashtag, I guarantee at least 2 people would go in my comment section and go, oh, that is not a fire alarm fail because it's an emergency light or exit sign and it says fire alarm. And yeah, you're technically right, but also Wheel of Fire Alarms, who created the hashtag, did technically say that all fails are welcome. All life safety fails constitute a fire alarm fail. And although I partially disagree with that, I think that it's a fair point. So if that's a question you have, then there's your answer. All life safety fails can be submitted in the fire alarm fail hashtag. So here's the solution I'm going to propose to this problem. Basically, if you're going to post a fire alarm fail, make it matter. Don't post just another advance on the ceiling or another exit sign hanging from the wires, because honestly, it's just boring at this point and not many people are going to want to see it. And if you see a fail that you don't particularly agree with, don't comment, don't be an a-hole. It's just not necessary. You're not going to accomplish anything except make yourself look stupid. So just ignore it. If you don't like something, just ignore it. And if you genuinely see a fail that you think is a real fail, then post it, right? Don't be afraid to exercise your free speech or free post, if you will. Just be mindful that sometimes a fire alarm fail isn't exactly a fail. It can be repetitive. And the gist of this whole thing is that a fire alarm fail is just something that actually affects a life safety device's operation, not just something you don't like or you think is stupid or something like that. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday for this, whatever this thing is called, the community talk show. Alright, bye.